Alright guys, what's up? It's Shadows. Got this yesterday. It's a gold MP7. This is gonna be number 3 in the gun series, the gold guns. I go 13-2 in 1v1 face-off. It was the first game I'd ever played on it. Like, I came home from school, mowed my yard, came inside, downloaded the face-off, played this. And so yeah, this guy I wouldn't say he's terrible, but I wouldn't say he's amazing. But that's not the point. So I'm using gold MP7 with kill streaks were Predator, Attack Chopper, and then AH6. My perks were Sleight of Hand Pro, Hardline Pro, and Steady Aim Pro, I think. So my attachments were Rapid Fire and Extended Mags. So that's pretty much it on the gameplay. Like my normal stuff, I'm just gonna throw in random comments, I think. But so yeah. Today I wanted to tell a story. Not a weird story or like a fairy tale, but like a fun story. Well, it wasn't a fun story for me when it happened, but it's kind of funny to look back on it because I was pretty stupid when I did it. And I wanted to talk about the time I broke my arm, which was in like 3rd grade, so I was like 8. And so yeah, me and my neighbors, we always liked to go out in the street and jump bikes, and it was pretty. I mean, it was fun. It was like probably like 5 of us that did it, and like all of us are. Nobody even talks to anybody anymore. A bunch of them moved, but so we'd go out there and we'd like set up our we had the little like foot tall Walmart ramps, and we'd set them up and we'd go out there and we'd jump bikes because we were bosses. So we'd go out there and we'd just we'd set them up like right in the middle of the street because we're just like geniuses. So we'd set them out in the middle of the street. And we'd go and, we'd get some speed, jump them. Everything was all good. So then one day, I came home from school. I think it was in like September or October, because I was playing baseball back then too. So I was like playing baseball and swimming at the same time. So so I go out there after I came home from school, and I hopped on my bike, and I just went out there with my it was just me and one friend. We were out there because everybody else was like doing homework because we were like the youngest. So we went out there and we set them up, and I decided to go like all the way down the street and get as much speed as I could. And of course he was like, oh no, that's not gonna work, you're gonna fall. And I was like no, I'll do it. I know I can do it. So I got going, and once I got going, I kind of started thinking it might be a bad idea, but I was like, no, just go. So I started going. And I was just like, I was flying. Like, it felt like the fastest I'd ever been on a bike. I thought I was going so fast. Thought I was like God or something. I was like a little, like, Olympian biker or something. But, so I was flying. Just like crazy. And then I hit the ramp. And what ended up happening was, like, when you jump a bike, you have to, like, pull up on the handlebars when you get to the top of the ramp. So your, like, front wheel doesn't just, like, roll straight off the ramp and go straight to the ground. But I was going so fast that I didn't have time to do it. And I ended up just like flipping my bike over. And ended up just like slamming. And like almost doing a front flip, but not really. And I just kind of like, it was like a half front flip to where like my head was like going at the ground. But my arm just like, I just put out my arm and it just like, I just like smashed it into the ground and landed like probably at like 15 miles an hour. Like straight to my arm. And I was just like, I just started like screaming. I was like, oh, this isn't cool. My friend comes over and he's like, are you okay? And I'm like, no. I was like, go get my dad. So he goes and gets him. And like he comes out. And my friend's, the one that I was jumping bikes with, his mom comes out. And she's like freaking out because it was like right in front of her house. And she was like, ah, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Oh, teabag. But, so she's like freaking out. So my dad puts like a magazine around it, which is actually a really good idea. If you ever break a bone, put something around it so like on your way to the hospital, it doesn't move anymore, because when they set it, it is not fun. And I'll get to that in a second. But so so I put it around there, and then one of my dogs, which I haven't told anybody about my dogs, so I'll talk about them in another story. But so one of my dogs, she's like really crazy, and she's like jumping on me, and the other one, she's like chill. And so like they're trying to figure out, like, my neighbors didn't really know it, so they're trying to figure out which one of my dogs is like the chill one, and they're trying to like cause like the chill one was like trying to like actually like sit up there with me and like comfort me, I guess. So she's up there with me, and she's like trying to just sit there and just like chill with me, and the other dog's like jumping on me, like freaking out, cause I'm still like ah, so I'm still like freaking out. So she comes over, and I get the chill dog, and I'm chilling with the chill dog, and my dad calls my mom. And, like, at this point, my mom's, like, freaking out. Like, she's, like, because my mom's, like, really protective of me and my sister. So it's, like, she was not happy at all. So I remember when she rolled into the hospital, she was, like, running. And I had never seen my mom run before either. So she goes in there. So we go to the hospital. They take the I sit there. And this was one of my parents' favorite jokes that I ever made. Because we were sitting there, and I was, like, I'm sitting there, and they had like put like a plastic splint on there, and it felt like just like a tray almost that I was just like sitting my arm in. So they put that on there, and they were like, I was sitting there, and they were like all these kids just like running around, and we're like in the ER, and I'm like, so how do they decide who goes first? And they're like the seriousness of your injuries or whatever. So I was like, so why am I still sitting here? Because everybody else seems to just be running around, and I was like 8, because I was a boss 8-year-old. So and they just laughed, and they were like, oh, they probably have somebody. But so then I go back, and I'm trying to get like the doctors to give me water, because like I was in like, I guess my body went into like shock, and I was thirsty. So I was trying to get them to give me water, and they told me, they were like, well, we can't give you anything until your x-rays come out, because if we have to do surgery, well, and they actually told me this, and this was like freaking me out more. They were like, if we have to do surgery, we'd have to wait like 4 hours if we gave you anything to eat or drink, because when we like cut you open, or the anesthesia would like make you like vomit it up or something. So I'm sitting there, and I got my x-rays, and I actually almost passed out when they took one of my x-rays, because they had like flipped my arm over, and it just like, when they flipped it, it just was like stabbing pain. It sucked. So they were so I got my x-rays, and then we go, and I'm sitting in this room, and this nurse, she came in with a cup of water, and I was like, so I don't have to get surgery? And she was like, no. So I got that, and then I go home. I got my cast, and I ended up getting a waterproof cast, so I could still swim with it. I actually swam in like a championship swim meet with my cast on, and I got some weird looks. And then when I got that off, oh, the setting, I totally forgot about that. So when you break a bone, it like unaligns itself, dislocates. Not like the bone's not, it breaks and then it kind of moves, so it's like not lined up to where it should heal right. So the doctor's like, I had to go into like this orthopedic specialist. So he went in there, or I went in there, and he took my arm, and he just like squeezed it, and it was like the worst thing ever. And there was, in the next room over from me, there was a kid getting like a screw taken out of their leg or something, and they were screaming, they were freaking out. But so yeah, they just like squeeze it to like get the bone to like straighten out, and that's definitely not fun at all either. So yeah, so after I got my cast off, I was like, my wrist, like, cause your arm is sitting, like, your wrist is like in the same position for 6 weeks. So like your joint, it's like if you sat with your neck looking in the same exact spot for 6 weeks. When you move it, it's like really sore, because your muscles like tighten up around like to where it's at. So when you move it, it's like sore, and it cracks like a lot. Like it was nasty. But yeah, so so I had to like do like these like wrist stretches every day, and I was like, my mom ended up, for the first couple days, my mom had to make me do them, because I didn't want to do them because they hurt too much. So they had given me also they had given me codeine when they had given me codeine when I had it, like, originally got my cast and everything, and when I originally went to the hospital, they had given me codeine. My mom has never, anytime that I ever have to get anything done, she refuses to let any doctors give me codeine anymore, because I like don't stop talking ever. So it's just, that's another thing, I don't ever stop talking when I'm on real drugs. But yeah, so that's been the story of how I broke my arm and this time after it. So if you liked it, go ahead and like the video, and I'll try and do more of these stories. I gotta come up with some more. But yeah, so I'm gonna try and come up with more stories if you guys want them. If not, comment what you would want to see. And yeah, follow me on Twitter. It's same name as on YouTube, Explicit Shadows. So go ahead and follow me on there. I end up going final score. I went 13-2. So yeah, Shadows signing out.